It's been a bit over a month now since I got my last tattoo, which was the peony on my arm. So I thought I would make a video about my other tattoos and just talk a little bit about where I got them from, the artist I got them from, and the experience. So the first tattoo I ever got was the key on the inside of my arm. I got this from an artist called Martha Smith, who's a really, really cool artist. So the reason I got this is my favourite book is A Wind-Up Bird Chronicle by Haruki Murakami, and I wanted to get a key to represent the wind-up bird from the book. It didn't take very long to do at all. It took about half an hour, 45 minutes, and surprisingly, considering its size, this was the most painful tattoo I got. The inside of the arm is really tender, so it hurt quite a lot. So the pain for this, I'd rate it about an 8 out of 10. It was definitely the most painful of all the tattoos I've got. So the next tattoo I got was the moth on the back of my arm. And I got this from an artist called Ricky Williams, who's at the Family Business Tattoo. In terms of how it's turned out, I think this is probably my favourite tattoo. It's healed really well, and I'm just really happy with how it's turned out. So my reason for getting a moth tattoo is that the lifespan for some moths is only 2 or 3 days. So this was kind of my way of reminding myself that life is short and to go out and do stuff while I can. So this is my non-cheesy attempt at a Carpe Diem tattoo. It took about 1.5 hours in total, which isn't too bad, and the pain wasn't too bad at all. It was probably about a 5 or a 6, and towards the back that was probably the most painful, maybe about a 7, but it wasn't as bad as the key. The next tattoo I got was probably the most impulsive of all my tattoos. It's the fishing lure on my wrist. Now I follow a lot of artists on Instagram, and one of my favourites is this artist called Henbo. And his waiting list can be months and months long, so I never bothered booking in a tattoo with him. And one day I was on Instagram and I saw that he had a vacancy because somebody had cancelled. So I sent him an email and I said, I'm looking to get a fishing lure on my wrist. It's not very big. Would you be interested in doing it? And he got back to me and said, yeah, sure, drop by. So it was definitely my most impulsive of all my tattoos. But it's one that I knew I would get one day, and it was amazing to get it from such a cool artist. Like the moth, this one wasn't really very painful at all. It was probably about a 6. And the reason behind this is basically that I used to go fishing a lot with my dad when I was growing up, and I just wanted something to remember that. So for my next tattoo, I went back to Ricky Williams at the Family Business, and I got the swallow on my forearm. So there's a little bit less meaning to the swallow than the rest of my tattoos. After getting the first few, I realised that not all tattoos have to have this grand meaning. Sometimes it's nice to get something that you just like the look of, or has more of a subtle meaning. For me, I wanted a swallow because swallows travel all around the world, but they always come back to the same place, and I thought that was quite a cool thing to have on my arm. Like the moth, this took about an hour and a half to do, although it didn't heal quite as well as the moth, so I had to go back and just get it touched up a little bit. And the final tattoo I got was the peony on my arm. I talked a little bit about this in another video, so check that out if you haven't already. But basically this one doesn't really have any meaning at all. I just wanted it because it looked cool and it feels a good place on my arm. This was a little bit more painful than my other tattoos. As you come round to the inside of the arm, this bit's quite delicate, so that probably went up to about a 7 or an 8, sort of on a similar scale to the key on the inside of my arm. But it's all healed up now, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I've got a big space on the inside of my arm that I'm hoping to fill at some point soon. But I think next for me, I'm probably going to start getting tattoos up on my chest. So yeah, that's just a little tour of my tattoos. Now I know having 5 tattoos doesn't exactly make me a tattoo expert, but a lot of people ask me where I go to get my tattoos, what was the experience like, can I recommend any artists? So I just wanted to make a video to basically go through all that. I'd recommend every artist that I've been to. I just really like the idea of collecting really cool artists' work on my body, so I would recommend any of them. I'll leave everyone's details down below. I'm hoping to bring my camera along next time I go and get a tattoo, so let me know if you'd like to see something like that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.